to Nightmare Legacy. Clementine's new gig requires her to be charismatic. Sergio has a lot of experience in that department. Sergio gave her all the tips and tricks to charm the hearts of the masses. Before long, her role as a mother once again beckoned her back. Little Garrett had his first blowout. A bubble bath is in order. With a rubber ducky and a sponge in hand, Clementine was ready for the job. As she wrapped up Little Garrett's bath, she received a call from Vanessa asking her out to the Spice Festival. Well, that would be fun. Clementine had to turn her down. She already had plans she was looking forward to. A well-deserved nap. She tucked her little ones in their cribs, gave them each a kiss, and then headed to sleep herself. Not much later, she received a call from Judith, saying that she was on her way over to meet the new little babies. Once she arrived, Clementine welcomed her in. "Judith, I'm so happy to see you. You look well." "Yes, I am doing well." Clementine introduced Judith to her daughter. "This is my sweet little Gracie." The next day was Clementine's audition, and she passed with flying colors, thanks to Sergio's mentoring. When she got home, she found Sergio playing with Gracie. "Sergio, I passed my audition. I need to make connections with my co-stars and directors, so I'm going to hold a little soiree tonight." She then started preparing for her guest arrival. She whipped up steak tartare and fish tacos. Soon after, her director arrived. Unfortunately, her co-stars were unable to make it. Clementine politely introduced herself to her director, then tried to entertain her with a little song on the guitar. Her director wasn't very impressed and left in the middle of her performance. After her director finished in the bathroom, Clementine took the time to get to know her. She asked her about her past and interests. At the end of the soiree, she called everyone to come and eat the food she'd prepared. They each grabbed a plate and sat down to enjoy the meal. Later that night, Clementine and Sergio went on a date to the club, where they performed a romantic scene for all to see. When they finished, Clementine saw that Thorne Bailey was strumming away on the guitar and decided to join him and sing a song to his strumming. When they finished their performance, Clementine overzealously introduced herself to Thorne Bailey, despite her yelling in his face, and then hugged him. Then they took a photo together to remember the moment. Finally, Thorne Bailey sent her off with a signed autograph. Once they arrived home, it was time to celebrate the twins' birthday. Clementine held up Gracie to the counter and showed her how to blow out the candles. Gracie puckered her lips and blew with all her might. Gracie aged up with the silly toddler trait. Now it's Garrett's turn. Once again, Clementine held him up and showed him how to blow out the candles, but he didn't quite get the idea and started yelling at the candles, so Clementine helped him blow them out. Garrett aged up with the charmer toddler trait. While Garrett enjoyed a slice of birthday cake, Gracie took her newfound title as a silly toddler to the fullest, making art with chocolate syrup and powdered sugar. When she finished her masterpiece, she too grabbed a slice of cake and sat down in the rocking chair to enjoy it. Now, with the cake consumed, it was time for bed, so Sergio and Clementine worked together to put these sugared up toddlers to bed. First, they changed them into their PJs, then sat on the edge of the bed and read them a story. The next day, it was Sergio's birthday, so he stood at the counter and made a wish. Sergio was now an adult. At about noon, Clementine headed off to her performance. On set, she could at last meet her co-stars. She took some time to get to know them. Introductions complete, she took to rehearsing her lines one final time, then headed off to get her hair and makeup done. The makeup palette they chose was bright pink, with bright pink blush and bright pink lipstick. Next, the makeup artist did her hair in a brown curly updo. The wardrobe team fitted her into a white Victorian-style dress. Now that the look was fully complete, she took to Simstagram, capturing photos to promote the show. Lastly, she received notes from the director and was ready to perform. On stage, she centered herself and did a few vocal warm-ups. Feeling prepared, she delivered her lines beautifully. She earned a bronze for her performance, as well as a lot more fame. She was now a 2-star celebrity. With that came more fame perks. She decided to take the networking perk, which allowed her to more easily connect with other famous individuals. She also got herself a PR agent. They would be able to help promote her and help her get into all the exclusive events. She then called her agency and set up her next gig. She decided to audition for The Last Town in the West. Subscribe and turn on notifications to find out if our girl Clementine can fit in with the in crowd.